All right. All right. Let's see. Welcome. Welcome to everyone. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, depending on if you're seeing this live or seeing this as a replay. I welcome you all. And so just a little reminder for anyone who is able to join live. I want to be sure you go to streamyard.com/Facebook so that I'll be able to see your comments when you leave them in here. Although I'm on Facebook Live, I'm on YouTube Live at the same time. It's all being done through streamyard.com. And so for me to see your comments, you're going to want to go to streamyard.com/Facebook and grant them access so that I can see you when you comment. Alrighty. Okay, so today we're going to start off with this symbol here. I don't know if you can see that. Alrighty, so if you know what that is, wonderful. This is what we're going to be starting off with. All right. Now, if you know what that is, you can post it below. And in the meantime, because we're still waiting for people to come on, I'll show that a little later too. I want to talk about this product here. This is called Revive. It's one of the products from Hempworks that I've been trying out. This thing is pretty well used already. In fact, I'm almost out. And so Revive is a restorative night cream with CBD. This has CBD and CBG in it. And so this is a restorative cream for the face and the neck, face and neck. And so I was a little skeptical with this one, only because I have very sensitive skin. I'm one of those who's dealt with eczema and things like that since I was a little kid. And so I can't use most facial products. I'll just break out in one way or another. But I thought I'd give this a try. And so it's kind of interesting. So I've been using this, and usually my face will dry out or react in a rash in one way or another when I use a new product. But with this one, and people who know me know that my rashes can get pretty significant. This I have not broken out at all. And I've only used it in the evening, only at night. And I've actually, my skin hasn't broken out at all. So I was quite surprised. So if you're interested, this actually has helped my skin. Actually, what happened was I used this along with the moisturizing cream. And when I decided to stop and try and go back to my normal, which is another common moisturizer that you get from the supermarket, I went back to that I've used for years on my face. I actually started breaking out when I started using that cream. And so I stopped using that cream, and I'm using this and the moisturizing cream. They're both from Hempworks. All right, so these are both from Hempworks. And so if you are interested in the Hempworks, you'll be able to find these products at www.hempworks.com/hibiscus health, and you're going to find that in the little ticker below. Okay, so that's what that is. That's what that is there. So I just wanted to mention that. Good morning, Jeanette. It's good to hear from you. I'm glad you made it. Okay, so so I decided today I'm just going to be very casual and just be totally relaxed with this, which is why you don't have a green screen behind me. I just have my shoji screens. And I know a lot of people like to sit at the desk, do all of this. I'm sitting on the floor. I'm more comfortable sitting on the floor and things. And so that's just me. And I thought I'm just gonna wing it and have fun with this. So This is what I showed earlier. If you know what that is, go ahead and put it in the comments. Alrighty? So I'm hoping you can see that. It's not very bold. I should have used a brighter paper, brighter color. Alright, and just so you know, when you put your comments in, it takes a good 20 seconds or more before I see it. And so you're going to want to make sure that, give me some time to see your comment there. Alrighty. So this, we're going to start off with this. This has to do with what we're going to talk about today. Although this is not something you would normally tie to something spiritual, I'm going to try. I'm going to try and tie it to something spiritual here. Okay, so if you have teenage kids, they probably know what that is. Anybody who's taken algebra? Is it algebra, trigonometry, one of those things? It's one of those things as an adult we said we'd never ever touch again. That's what I told myself. Okay. Pi. This is pi, which is a huge long, well, I shouldn't say a huge. It's a long number. 3 point something something something. It goes on and on and on and on. Okay, so what does that have to do with what we're going to talk about today? So today is Pi Day. P-I, Pi. Today's Pi Day. And so pi is one of those numbers that are considered a constant. It is never changing. It is constant. It is just what it is. Alrighty? And so, what I want to know from you is talking about constant. Pi is constant. That's why we're trying to connect that to what we're going to talk about today. And so pi is constant. So we're going to turn that around. Turn it around. I'm going to ask you to think about this. What in your life is constant? What in your life is constant? All right. I was trying to think about that for myself. What in my life is constant? It's kind of hard to think about. Okay, pi, Jeanette, P-I. Although I do know that there are some people celebrating Pi Day by eating pie. I will say that. Okay, I'm going to say in moderation. In moderation. But then I can't control what you decide to do. You know that. All right, so pi. Yes, so it is a constant. It's a mathematical constant number. And so what is constant? Constant is something that it is what it is. It's never changing. It's just what it is. Now that's the interesting thing when we think about it that way. It's consistent. And so it is put that there. You're funny, Jeanette. And so what is constant in life? What is constant in your life? And when I tried to think about that, it was kind of hard. And that's when I came across the conclusion. The only thing that is constant is change. Change is the one thing that is constant. Change is guaranteed to happen because it is rare for anything to ever stay the same. Right? So, change is what is constant. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people have a hard time with change. You know, we get kind of used to life as it is. And when something comes our way that starts to diverge from that lifestyle or that path, for some people it can be pretty hard. It can be very hard to change that path when, especially if you're thinking how well things have been going or things have been pretty smooth, and then this comes in. So change can be pretty challenging. Now there are times when change can be a good thing. If you're trying to change in a way that's going to pull you from something that is negative, then that's a change that you really would want to push for, because it's going to bring a positive effect on your life. And so change is one of those things. It all depends on what's going on with you. Now, how does this all tie in with the things that are going on out there? And so we know there's a lot of change. There is a lot of change, and there's a lot of people out there trying to make the change happen. And it's all to bring about, everyone's goal is to bring about something better in life for all and things. And so this is actually tying in with a lot of energetic changes that are going on here. And so those who are sensitive, those who are very sensitive to energy, is already feeling the change. A lot of us who may not be aware that we're sensitive may just feel like something feels off, something feels different. I don't know why all this is all of a sudden happening. I'll give you an example. For me, earlier this week, I do a lot of this. I do on the side. I do have another job that I work at. And all of a sudden this week, work just got really busy. So I've been working close to 8.5 hour days, where since the whole pandemic started last year in March, my days were about 2 hours, 3 hours at most, 3 days a week. I had been cut down from a full-time to a part-time job, and so 3 days a week. And so it was kind of interesting that this week, all of a sudden, I'm doing full-time on the 3 days a week, full-time hours on the 3 days a week, so about 8 to 8.5, about so. And all of a sudden, everybody was seeking me out. And so whether that's at work, or whether it's through Hibiscus Health, or whether it's at home among family or friends, everybody was all of a sudden looking for me for one reason or another. And I thought that was pretty interesting, that everything was nice and quiet, then all of a sudden, boom, all these changes came in. Ooh, I'm getting all tingly. Okay, all these changes were coming in, and people were seeking me out. People were seeking me out not to say anything negative, but they were seeking me out for services, because they were experiencing some really unusual things. They were experiencing some things that they weren't expecting to experience energetically. And so being able to do things like Reiki or house clearings or things like that, all of that all came into play this week. And I thought that was really interesting. It is because the energy. We all kind of felt a semblance of that. If you feel like, I don't feel that type of energetic change or anything, I want you to think about how you feel when you're really happy. When you're really happy, how that makes you feel inside. It just lifts your spirit. In essence, it lifts your energy when you are happy, excited about something. And then if you take the opposite side of that, when you are sad, upset, depressed, your energy drops. And you can feel that physically, that drop in energy, versus how you feel when you're happy, excited. You can feel that difference in the energy. Now, I want you to think about that on a worldwide scale. The energy here, the energy around this earth, for everyone, the energy is rising up. It is rising up big time. And the world is making its changes with this energetic shift. And so here's the thing. Excuse me, my Xerox machine is ringing. My apologies. Hold on. All right. Hello, hello. Sorry about that. If you can see me, comment, because I'm not sure if I'm being picked up on the other side here. All right. Okay. It says I'm recording. All right, I'm going to just continue on here. Sorry about that. I lost my internet for a moment there. Okay, my apologies. I lost the internet for a moment there. Okay, so what was I talking about? Okay, thank you, Jeanette. You can see me. Wonderful. Wonderful. Don't you just love live broadcasts? Okay, so what was I talking about? Energy. Okay, so the energy is shifting around this whole planet for everyone. Whether we're ready for it or not, that energy is increasing. And that is part of what everyone is feeling. And so here's the thing. There's going to be some people who are going to there are going to be some who are going to be able to lift their own energy along with the energy that is increasing all around the earth. And then there are going to be others who may not be quite ready for it. And those who may not be quite ready for it it's kind of hard to explain. Some are going to be ready and they're going to continue to progress on this way. Others may not be ready for it, but they're still going to be experiencing the thing. Both groups of people are going to experience the same things, but they're going to experience it in a different way. And so some of those who are going in the one direction, who may not be ready for the change, might be held back. I don't know if that's a good word to use. They might be held back because there might be some of that concern or worry or fear of what's going on, like with the pandemic and all of that. And then you're going to have those who have been able to work on their energetic vibrations, able to get themselves beyond that fear and worry and continue to progress onward with their energetic vibration. So it's like people are going to start being drawn into one direction or the other, and that is what's going to cause I won't say cause, that's going to cause people to react differently to the same situations that are out there, because people are viewing it in different ways. Okay, and so what can we do to kind of help ourselves not get caught in the fear and worry and things like that can happen with change? You know how I mentioned earlier, some people have a hard time with change. Some people have a really hard time with change. And so one of the things that you can do is to try and raise your vibration, your energy level. This is what I do. So I am a very visual person. I like to look at things that are really beautiful. It helps me feel good to see something that is beautiful, like artwork or things like that. I also love music. Music also raises my vibration. And so I'll show you something here. I think I've shown it here. I'm not sure if I've shown it here. So for those who have known me along my journey, when I started this whole spiritual journey, I got drawn into shamanism. Okay, and so this is something I've been encouraged, not just by my mentors, but others, to reconnect with the creative side of me, which I used to be able to do. Over 20 years ago, I majored in commercial art. And then I didn't do anything with it. I went into speech therapy. And so I did this painting. I had not touched paints in over 20 years, but I wanted to paint something that was going to help me raise my energetic vibration. So I painted this image, which is an image of a tree that reminds me of a tree back home in Hawaii. So I painted this tree, and I think the tree is still there. But every time I look at this, it does raise my energetic vibration, because the tree itself, it means a lot to me. And it is still, I'm pretty sure it's still standing there. It's in one of the gardens on the island of Oahu. And so what I do to raise my vibrations is I will look at something or listen to something that's going to make me feel really good inside. And then I go into a manifestation to try and draw to me something positive. And so for me, it could be anything like manifesting that the ultimate miracle is going to happen to me today, or that maybe I'm going to be able to help someone reach a goal today. It could be anything. It just depends on you. And so a manifestation would be the second part. And then the third part is the gratitude, and that's going to be a big one, is talking about what is it that I am thankful for in my life. And so for me, even just talking about it, I can feel the energetic shift. And so doing those three things, boom, 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 raises my energetic vibration. Now, when it comes to making change, when you want to make change in your life, if it's something negative, you can do the same thing. To me, making change is like trying to manifest the positive in a negative situation. And so you can do a similar thing when it comes to making a change for the positive. You can also journal about it. You can write down what it is, the positive thing you want to bring into your life in whatever situation that you're in. And so there's different things that we can do. All of these things, all to raise your vibration so you can draw the positive in. And so these are all things that you can use and would be really important now, since the energy is going up. It is continuing to go up here on this planet. And so if you are one of those who has a hard time with change, then you can kind of, use some of these different tactics to try and help you bring about positive change. Because it's the positive change that gets us excited and motivated, and we'll draw that in. Okay, sounds good. So that is what I wanted to talk about today, is that change really is the only constant. Change is the only constant. We can always expect change. And so what we can do now is to draw positive change towards us, to help us continue to progress with what's happening with the whole world, in the world trying to raise its own vibration. Okay, so I have a little bit of time left, and let's see, Jeanette, do you want me to pull a card for you if you're still on here? I am actually using, let's see, or anyone else that might want a card. I am using the Oracle of Shadows and Light. So an interesting thing about this deck here, when I first started my journey and met this wonderful woman. She was one of the first people I met on my journey, and she got me started on this. In fact, she's one of my mentors. Her name is Grace Sequoia, and she does a lot of tarot cards, and she got me really interested in this. Yes, I know you, Jeanette. I know you. Good morning, Nadine. I'm glad you could join us today. All right, so this deck, the Oracle of Shadows and Light, when I first started my journey a few years ago, I think it's been more than a few years. I'm going to have to look back. Not sure how long ago I started. But This was one of the first decks that I purchased when I started delving into a lot of the spiritual and the metaphysical. And I find for me, I get drawn to decks because of the artwork. And I got drawn to this because of the artwork. Okay, I got drawn to this because of the artwork on the box, but I could feel the energy coming from it. And so this was the first deck I ever purchased. I ended up getting the traditional tarot after this one. This was my first. So we're going to use this one today for a single card draw. Alrighty. So, all right. Excellent, Nadine. Okay, so I'm going to start with Jeanette. I'm going to start with Jeanette first. All right, so a single card draw. We're going to see, we're going to see what the card has in store for you. For Jeanette. I'm going to cut this deck in half. Interesting. So this is what I pulled. And my Spanish is not very fluent. Angel de los Muertos. Transitions to the spirit realm. Okay. Transitions to the spirit. Now that can mean a lot of things. So I'm going to read that card to you, okay? So, transitions to the spirit realm. Okay, so this says, I bring you a message. So you're going to imagine that she's talking to you, okay? And it says, I bring you a message from a loved one whose spirit seems to have already departed, but whose physical presence lingers on for now as he or she prepares to depart from this life. I ask you now to acknowledge your loved ones who are resting in spirit or creating new selves for their souls. You may soon be about to meet a beloved in a new form. I ask you to stay open-minded about the form in which the souls can come, and I ask you to be open to the message from the loved ancestors, for they have something to tell you, and it will come to you soon in a vision or a dream or a message during a daydream that will bring such sweet, tangible proof of what some people still call life after death. There is no death. There is only life and resting time and change. There's the word change again. Be ready to be comforted and to learn more of the world beyond this world, which is always with you but is not always believed in or trusted, even when we send messages to you as clear as a flag in the sky. So it says when this card shows up, it signifies that you should not delay activating this particular purpose. Her message is not only from those who've passed on, but of the truth that you can activate your new life while you are still here in this lifetime. It is no longer necessary to pass to recreate the life contract and purpose you have. Do not wish to leave in order to start anew. That's interesting. Believe that this life is a constant process of creation. Wow, there's the word constant there. And that you are at a point where you can end a pattern without ending this life. So energy is changing, and death is no longer the greatest reshaper. She comes to visit you now, so the fear of mortality passes, and so that you understand you can begin to rebirth yourself into a new life now. Isn't that an interesting message, Jeanette? Wow. That is very interesting. Alrighty. So, that message was for Jeanette. I hope that card made sense for you. Alrighty. Okay, next is Nadine. Nadine. Now, I'm assuming I as well. Is that a request for a card that you want a card pull? Yeah, I know, Jeanette. I know. I was like, wow. It mentioned all the words in there. Okay, so I'm not sure if Nadine is still on. Okay. So I think Nadine wanted one. I'm not sure if she's still on here or not. I'll pull one for you, Nadine. And okay, good. Okay, Nadine is here. Okay, I'm gonna pull a card for you, Nadine. If anyone else wants a card, post it in the comments. Okay, Nadine, your card is you got the Angel of Alchemy. On the bottom it says Miracle. So let's read what that card is about. Okay. I just like the fact that it says Miracle on there. That is awesome. Okay, so the Angel of Alchemy. So this is what she's saying to you, Nadine. I am here to help you make a miraculous shift in your body and your health. Whether you have an injury or an illness or simply feel ill at ease within the form you currently have, I am the Angel of Alchemy, and I can show you how to change your current experience of physicality. I stand here and have done so for many thousands of years. I have seen the fear and the guilt of others. I have seen the fear of infection, the anguish of pain, and the despair at life seeming to end. But I am here with you now to show you how to create health and strength and how to stop being so frightened of growing older and having times when your body will challenge you. All will be well, and all this will pass. This form is just one of many you will create. Let me show you how to live anew with love and health. So what this card is saying is that there may be health challenges for you at the present time, regardless of what you or one dear to you may be experiencing. It is time to ask yourself, what would I do if I knew I had a short time left to live on this planet? Then begin to take action on those plans. Because the beautiful thing about looking deeply into the human fear is that this examination of mortality will create an exquisite sense of being alive now. And you will reprioritize and you will begin to shape your life in new and meaningful ways once you see that time, in the sense of the physical form, can be short. So do not hesitate. Take action now on changing what can be changed. When you receive this card, you're about to turn a corner with a health challenge. The current situation has actually served you in many ways. It's brought your focus back to what is truly valuable in your life and made you aware of areas of neglect. Now you can move forward with a refreshed set of priorities that are based in something very real. The Angel of Alchemy encourages you to make your healing, either your own or that of someone close to you, the top priority. All right, so that's the card. That's the card for Nadine, the Angel of Alchemy, the Miracle. All righty, you're welcome. You're welcome. Both of you, Nadine and Jeanette. You are most welcome. All righty. So it is, let's see. Okay. So the Angel of Alchemy was a timely one for you then. So just being ready here. Living life to the fullest is what it's encouraging you to do. And you know, when I think about it myself, a lot of times when we experience some of those challenges in life, you know, a lot of times that can kind of draw your energy level down when we get caught in those situations. It's kind of like what I was talking earlier about what was constant. It's change and how some people are being drawn to that higher shift in energy, and some people might feel like they're kind of stuck or stagnant in the energy that they're in, a lot of times because of the challenges they're facing and not knowing how to get themselves out of that level of energy, that vibration, trying to raise yourself higher and things. So all of those things that I mentioned earlier are some of the ways that you can do it. I know I mentioned writing it down, but not writing the negative. We don't want to write down the negative. Whatever situation you're in, writing down the positive. What is the positive change you want to bring? It actually makes it a physical thing that you can see, that you're physically doing, and that'll give you something to look at daily, that you can start pushing yourself to that next level, raising that energetic vibration to a whole new level there. So that is one of the things that you can do, along with all the others. I mentioned a few things. If you want to go back to the earlier in the video, if you've had a chance to see that, things that you can do, because I know there are things that I do to raise my own vibrational level, because these days especially, you have to. The energy shift is already happening, and it's becoming greater and greater, and it's going to get to a point where some who are ready for the shift are going to go raise their energetic vibration with it, and then others are going to be a little stagnant, even though both groups are experiencing everything, the same situations together. Because of where the energy is, they're going to perceive it differently. It's just one of those things, as you raise your vibration, you're going to start shifting the way you see what's happening around you. And so it can get pretty complex. That whole conversation can get pretty complex. So excellent. I am so glad I had a chance to talk with all of you today. And so, anyone have any other questions? Any questions at all? I'm going to give you a few seconds, and give you a few seconds to, if you have any questions, to get those comments in. I'm going to invite you all to check the Hibiscus, the page on Facebook. I am working with one of my mentors, and if things pan out, I will be doing my first psychic panel. I'll be doing my first psychic panel live on YouTube, and if it works out, it'll be this Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is 1 o'clock Eastern. And now, because we've rolled the clocks forward, it'll be 7 a.m. Hawaii time. If things pan out, we're still trying to get there's going to be 4 of us on the psychic panel, and people are going to be able to send in their requests, and we're going to just read these people, all 4 of us. And so we'll see how that goes. So kind of check the page tomorrow, because things are still getting ironed out. If it works out that we can do it on Tuesday, then I'm going to let you all know there. Okay. If it's still, I'm going to have to take a step back, because we're still trying to coordinate it all, you'll still find out there. Okay. All right. So everybody, have a fabulous week. It is Pie Day. If you want to do what Jeanette's doing, she's going to eat pie, I think. You go in and do what makes you happy. I'm just going to add on moderation. Alrighty. I will see you all. Have a great week. I'll be back next week. Bye-bye.